Well, here's the old guy again from Flounders of Great Adventure talking to you. Trump today said that he's going to get out of the Iran nuke deal. Now, from what I've read and heard on the news and whatnot, most people think this is a great deal. Not a great deal, I shouldn't say a great deal, but that it was a good deal, that it was doing what it was supposed to do, which was to keep Iran from making nuclear weapons. Now, it appears that Saudi Arabia and the Emirates are supporting the deal, which makes a lot of sense to me, because these countries have been suffering a loss in income because of low oil prices due to a glut in the oil industry brought about by 3.9 billion barrels of oil per day coming out of Iran. Well, now that's going to stop. The effect of that's going to be much higher oil prices, gasoline prices, probably natural gas prices too, because they like to jump on everything and raise as much as they possibly can. You're going to start seeing these ridiculous profits from the oil companies again. They're just, I don't know who pushed Trump to do this, if he's got a lot of oil stocks or what, I don't know. But the other side is it's going to make it very difficult to negotiate a deal with North Korea now, because he's backing out of the deal that he already had. Now, whether or not that's a good deal or not, I think that if he didn't like it as much as he says he didn't like it, then he should have stayed in it and tried to fix it and amend what needed to be done. Totally walking away from it, it's not going to solve anything. It puts the world on the brink of disaster. I think I'd be surprised if Kim Jong-un even goes through with the meeting in North Korea now, because I'm thinking he's feeling that he can't trust Trump, which is what the rest of the world is thinking right now. This isn't the first time he's done something like this. I mean, this is one of those deals that I can't blame on his unnatural hatred of Obama and anything Obama. This I think is more about money. I think that he's trying to revive the oil industry. He wants to get the old industries going again. The coal and whatnot. Remove the restrictions on pollution and whatnot. I don't know why he's trying to destroy the planet the way he is, but it seems to be what he's doing. I think that the biggest problem that we're going to see in the near future is that the tension in the Far East is going to get ridiculous. I don't know what Israel is going to do. I don't know what Iran's going to do. I think if I'm Iran, and I think they're going to remove their president, who's sort of I don't know less of a radical, let's say, than what they've got floating around in that country. And I think you're going to see somebody else come in that's very radical. I think you're going to see them go and try to build their bomb again, build up their nuclear power, which won't take long. That's the thing that it hasn't been shut down for that long. It won't take long to bring it back. It's like North Korea. North Korea can turn around tomorrow and rebuild its nuclear productivity again. It's not something that you can just turn off. It takes years to shut it down. It doesn't take that long to restart it. And I don't know where his brain. I don't know whether he's got a brain. First of all, I know there's something wrong there, because he has this tremendous obsessive hatred of Obama, and I'm not really sure what that's coming from. I don't know whether it's a racist thing, or if it's something where he just can't stand people that are more popular than him. It would sound to me like it would have to be a racist thing along with the fact that he can't stand people that are more popular than him. I think the combination of Obama being black and more popular than him is just tearing him apart inside. Something wrong with him. I don't know what it is. I'm not a shrink. You know, I studied a lot of that in college, but I'm still, you know, you have to sit down and talk to a person to try and figure out what's wrong with them. You can't do it. No psychiatrist or psychologist can sit down, watch videos of him, and say, oh, this is what's wrong with him. No, it can't be done. But I do believe that he's got something not right in him, and I'm not sure. I think it's going to become more dangerous. The more pressure that's put on him, I think the more dangerous he becomes, the more, you know, the more he believes that he's the rightest person in the room. I mean, that's not true. I don't care who you are. You could be the smartest person on the face of the earth and walk in, and sooner or later you're going to meet somebody smarter than you. He thinks he's right and the rest of the world is wrong, and that's just a very dangerous situation, especially right now with the situation that's going on. He has to negotiate deals. Can he negotiate deals? No. You know, look at his business record. Most of the companies, he has so many bankruptcies. It's like I think he set a record for bankruptcies or something like that. I mean, he's successful, but he's successful at the expense of others. I've always said this about politicians, and he's a prime example of it. They don't know what to do with people like me and you, assuming you're not a rich person. He doesn't know what to do with people like us because he's never had to deal with people like us. He's never had to deal with the problems that we've had. He's never had to worry about, do I have enough money to pay the hospitalization, the rent, the car insurance, the house insurance? I mean, do I have money to pay all these things, you know, or do I have to get an extra job? What happens if they lay me off? I mean, you know, how do I save money? I can't. You can't do it. He doesn't understand that. You know, he doesn't care. I mean, he has no empathy whatsoever for anybody, rich or poor, but especially poor people or not as rich as him people. I don't like to say the term poor people. I don't want to insult poor people. But people that aren't as rich as he is, and there are a lot of them out there like that. They grow up. I mean, he especially. He's more than a lot of them. I mean, he grew up with absolutely no hardships at all in his life. I mean, he grew up and was given $250 million to play with. He never had to worry about any paying any bills. They were all paid for, and he still doesn't worry about it. I mean, he's got so much money now, he doesn't have to worry about it. I mean, he has people to do everything. But that kind of attitude now, dealing with the people that he's going to be dealing with, I mean, Kim's country has nothing. North Korea has nothing. Nothing to offer. They don't have anything to offer the rest of the world, really, except cheap labor. I see nothing coming out of this that's good. I mean, you look at the Arab countries. I mean, study that part of the world, for Christ's sakes. I mean, look at it. Go back and study history. Go back to when it was Persia and everything, and the pirates and all this other stuff. These people have never gotten along with anybody. They've always been fighting amongst themselves. There's always been a desire to see who's the strongest, whether it's Iran, Iraq, the Iraqis, the Iranians, the Turks, whatever. They're constantly battling to see who's going to be on top. It's a prestige thing. It's an ego thing from their leadership. It's a hard thing to deal with, and I don't think anybody, of course I don't know how to deal with it, and I'm sure I don't know anybody that does. You make a deal, and 2 months later the government's changed. In that part of the world, we supported the Shah, we supported Hussein. They were allies of ours. And then the next thing you know, we're at war with these countries. This is a very slippery slope we're on right now. I don't think Trump is the person to be there in control of it. I don't think the people he has around him. He hasn't hired or appointed anybody that installs confidence or faith in themselves. They're basically yes men. Listen, I want to do this. Okay, Trumpy, let's do this. We'll go out tomorrow and we'll do it. No problem. I think now, unfortunately, the only way he has two possible solutions to his political future. One, make a good deal with Iran and then turn around and make another good deal with Korea. If he can't do that by the time the elections roll around, he's history. He's not getting reelected. The only way he can do that now is if he starts a war, because the tendency is not to change presidents during a war. That's how FDR got 4 terms. 2 of them because he was doing a hell of a job bringing the country back, and the next 2 because of war. I don't know what Trump is. I don't know whether he's a Republican, a Democrat, a fascist, a communist. I have no idea. But all these governments fail after a while. They create an elitist. Democracy right now in the United States, we have probably the greatest elite ever. I mean, the disparity between rich and poor is ridiculous. Look it up. I mean, I've had the figures. I don't want to go back and look them up right now. I get too depressed. It's an amazing fact that we haven't had some sort of revolution or conflict because of the disparity between the rich and the poor. And the rich think they know everything. Trump isn't the only one in the world that walks around in America that walks around and says, I'm right. I know what's right. Every politician says that. Every politician believes that they know what's right for the country, what's good for the people. The founding fathers set up the system of voting for president and whatnot because they felt that the people didn't know how to choose leaders. They didn't know how to run them. It was an elitist. The people that were elite. And that was more about education than it was about money and education. Now it's about money, and no, education doesn't really enter it that much. I think the United States has a very, very stupid president. I don't think he's near as smart as he thinks he is, and this what happened today is a prime example of that. It wasn't necessary for him to cancel a deal, and rattle swords and everything and threaten people. He doesn't know what he's dealing with. I don't know. I never would have trusted any deal that North Korea made with the rest of the world before this, and now there's no way. Listen, I'm an old man. I'm 72 years old. Maybe that's not considered old anymore. But it's old from a historical point of view. I've seen a lot. And what I'm looking at right now in the United States is that they're making some very, very bad decisions for the country, for the world. I think that there's going to be a huge change coming. And I don't think we're going to be where we thought we were going to be. I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, but time will tell. Maybe I'll be around to see it. I don't know. I always had this. I've been in so many car accidents and everything. I tell people I'm living on borrowed time. So who knows if I'll be here tomorrow? Who knows if I'll be here by the time this video ends? Which is fine. It's okay with me. I've done what I want to do and everything. I'm fine. But I worry about my nieces. I worry about my great nephews. I worry about my grandkids. I worry about everything. And where I live outside the United States, by the way, in case you didn't know that. I live in Medellin, Colombia, the ex-cocaine capital of the world. I believe it's Peru now. But, I'm living in a roughly what would be considered a 1950s United States. So, but I'm happy, and I don't have to worry about too much anyhow. I probably have meandered a lot in this conversation. I always tell people part of the reason that I wander around so much in my colleagues, I don't get to talk to too many people down here. But I do believe that, getting back to on subject again, I do believe that the United States has made some serious mistakes. This is a big one. I'm not one of these people that says let's sit around and wait and see what happens. I think something's got to be done, and something's got to be done right away, because I just don't think, I don't want the kids in the country have to grow up the way I did. We grew up with what do we call them? Duck and cover drills. We had to hide under our school desks because of the threat of an atomic bomb. We were told that we had 20 minutes from the flash of a light, or 20 seconds, whatever it was, from the time we saw the flash of the Bombay doors opening, which would reflect off the sun. I mean, God, we were, we heard jet planes. We got nervous as kids. They scared the hell out of us. And I was in Catholic school, and they'd scare the hell out of you anyhow. Praying doesn't work. I don't know whether you realize that or not. Not when you're worried about an H-bomb dropping on you. And now, of course, they have these drills for shooters and whatnot in schools. That's ridiculous. That shouldn't be happening. Something went wrong someplace along the line. And I'll talk about that another time. Right now, I think I've wandered enough in my conversations from the original point I was trying to make, and that is that we're headed in a really bad direction because of what's going on today. And maybe in the next few days I'll come back and I'll be able to say something a little happier about this. Maybe there's something going on that maybe I haven't read about yet. Maybe there's a deal in the works that I don't know about. In the meantime, you can catch up with me on my blog, written blog. It's at wordpress.com. Or you can go to floundersgreatadventure.com, and that's written by my cat Flounder and I. Some of it's political opinion, some of it's whatever happens to be in my warped mind at the time. But if you get a chance, check that out. I'm on Facebook. You can get on Facebook and yell at me if you want. I don't mind. I don't care. I say things to get people to think. All right, this is Jeff from Flounders Great Adventure. Take care. We'll see you soon.